All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Okay, so I'm logged into Command, and so today's class we're gonna be going over how do we create campaigns via Command to be published out to Facebook. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Get our faces out of the way. All right, so I'm logged into my personal Command. To get into the campaign manager, I'm going to come over here to the applications. And if I hover, it's going to tell you what you're going into. So this is with the megaphone, this is the campaign section. Once I'm in the campaign section, if you have anything currently running, that is going to be posted right here. And something that was just released yesterday, and I don't know if you guys know about this. So this was just released from Keller Williams. So take advantage of Facebook ads with $25 off your first ad spent of $75 or more. Don't wait, this offer won't last long. A little bit of uncertainty there, only because the way we're telling you guys to run these ads, you're not necessarily spending $75 to run an ad. Right now, the sweet spot for the Oklahoma region is $3.50 per day, no longer than 10 days. So you're only spending $35. So I don't know how that falls in for us, because we don't really want you spending $75 for an ad. So I want to get more clarification on that, because that is quite a bit for our region to be spending on an ad. So don't go for this yet. Let me get more clarification on it, and we'll kind of go from there. So we're going to go ahead and create a new campaign. So you got a blue button up here at your top right. If you can't see the buttons, you guys, make sure you move the faces to the left, so that way you can see your buttons. You can move the faces all over the screen. So I'm going to click create a new campaign. Then it's going to ask me, great, what kind of ad do you want to create? And I want to create a social paid ad, right? So I'm going to click that. It's always going to ask for a campaign name. So typically I see agents put the home address, but you can put whatever you want to. So I'm just going to put 123 Main Street test ad. All right. So then at this point, it's going to ask you, okay, what is your goal for this ad? Are you advertising a listing? Are you advertising multiple listings? Or are you trying to attract listings, buyers, talent, event awareness, or brand awareness? So brand awareness is you. So are you trying to tell people about your team or about you, or something you're doing in the community? So this is going to be important, because you're choosing how you are wanting to advertise your ad. Okay, so for today though, we're just going to say that we are advertising a listing. Your next step is going to ask you, okay, where are you wanting this campaign to run? Right now, I'm not advising you to do Twitter or Instagram. There's not a lot of good feedback we've gotten from, is it worth the money you're spending? Instagram, not a great place to be putting your ads. So we're really recommending you use Facebook. So make sure you only choose Facebook when you come into this section. So now I'm ready to click Set Up Campaign. All right. So the first thing it's going to do is going to ask you, okay, now I need you to pick your property. So this is only going to show you actives, okay, because of the status. So let's say you wanted to show something that sold. You wanted to do something like sold in 10 days. You would have to come into the status and go find it. If you don't, it's only going to show you what is active right now. All right. And then also mine's going to look a little different because I'm in here as an admin, but let's say that you don't have any listings. So there's no listings that you can select. You can actually ask it to show you all listings, and that way you're able to pull in any listing if you have permission. Don't go pull a listing if you haven't asked the listing agent, is it okay if I run an ad on your listing? Make sure you always have permission if you're running somebody else's listing. So I'm going to pull, let me see if this is a lot of land. Let me search by listing agent. And because I know Katie is on the call, I'm going to see if we have anything for Priscilla Peck. And we'll just pull one of hers in. So where I went, I am able to select, I can search by listing agent, MLS number, or list or property address. And I don't know, maybe Priscilla doesn't have anything active, or this is not pulling correctly. So we'll just see. It could be that it's not pulling correctly. Let's see. So I moved the status to all. We're getting the spinning wheel. Be patient. If this doesn't work, we'll just go pull a random listing. No, not going to work for us. I know Priscilla has stuff, so that must just not be working at the moment. They're probably in there doing something. So we'll just pull something in here. Let that load for us. Okay. I really want something with a picture of a house. Okay, we'll just pull this Covey Lane in there. Okay, so let's say, okay, this is the property that I want to pull in for my ad. So I'm going to select it. Okay, so it's immediately going to have us crop because, oh, it did it for us. Perfect. There will be a section when I'm choosing more pictures, it is going to ask us to crop it. But because this is it needs a specific size for Facebook, that is why we will have to crop it. Now you're already going to notice because these listings are pulling from MLS, it's pulling all of the data from MLS. So it pulled in my pictures, it's pulling in the public remarks. So let's see. So we're going to come into the left-hand side here in a second, but I want to show you the right-hand side for a second. So as you are making your edits from the left-hand side, your preview will start to populate over here on the right. So every change you make, you immediately see it on the preview. So up here where it says Facebook preview web feed, that's showing you if somebody sees this on a desktop or laptop, this is how they're going to see it. If they're on their mobile phone, this is how they'll see it. Okay, so it's just a good, preview of what they're going to see. So that way you know what they're going to see, because we get this question a lot. Well, I ran an ad and I never saw the ad on my Facebook. Well, if you're not searching what your clients are searching, you're not going to see the ad. Because we are setting restrictions for, I want to capture people that are searching for Zillow and Trulia.com. If you're not searching for Zillow and Trulia.com, you're never going to see the ad, because remember, we're targeting a certain audience. So keep that in mind. You may not see the ad come up on your ads on Facebook because you're not searching for the same things that you're targeting. All right. So we're going to come back to the left-hand side. We've name and goal. If you need to update the name, you can do that there. So we're going to save our name. If you accidentally selected the incorrect listing, I can change that if I need to. And then we're going to come into add text. All right. So here's the main copy of text. This main copy of text is what's going to go above your picture. So you can update that, edit that if you want to. Just make sure, because this is pulling directly from MLS, it looks like hers looks really good. There's no like abbreviations or anything. So if you see a lot of abbreviations, just know that you can change that, fix that. Now you do have a limit of 250 characters or less, so keep that in mind. All right, so then we've got some headline text. So your headline text is going to go right underneath that. Test for headline text. Okay, so your headline text, okay, keep this in mind too, because I've seen this. So this needs to be short and sweet, okay? If you go over 40 characters, it's going to get cut off, okay? Because it's only going to put it in this allotted space right here, and that is a bigger text. So keep it short and sweet. You don't need a bunch of text right there, because it's just going to end up getting cut off. And then you have a description section. So this is not the same as the main copy section. This needs to be short and sweet too, because it is going to get cut off if you put too much there. So they do give you suggestions. So the suggestion for this one is you could be coming home to this, so you can see what it's going to look like right there. But again, put whatever you want to. Just know that don't make it too long, because it is going to get cut off. It does give you a character count of 250, but I still sometimes see that it gets cut off right there at the end. So just keep it short and sweet, so that way your text doesn't get cut off. So we're going to save add text, and then we're going to come down to add media. Okay, because right now I only have one picture attached to my ad. You can attach up to 5. So I can come in here to add more, and it's pulling all of the pictures from MLS. And this is where I was telling you it's going to ask you to crop it. So let's say, okay, I want to pull this picture in and I need to preview and crop the image. Okay, just pull it down. You don't really have to crop it per se. You're just deciding, you know, which part of the picture you want to show. So I've pulled it down to where I want it, and I'm going to click Save Image. Right. So you would come in there, add the pictures you want. All right. So let's say, you know what? I want to pull in the lake. Preview and crop image. And there's the lake. Save image. All right. So as long as you have your DBA logo attached in your account, you should all have that attached because your account should be up to date as far as your profile settings go. That should already be displaying right here. If it's not, reach out to me and we'll get that taken care of. Then underneath that, it's asking you, okay, where do you want the logo to be positioned? Right now it's on the right-hand side, but let's say, you know what, I really want it on the left-hand side. Switch it to the left-hand side, but it's whatever your preference is. Let that load. So now it's been moved to the left-hand side. And as you see, guys, I can move these pictures with my mouse, but when it's on Facebook as an ad, it's going to be on a carousel. So these are just going to scroll as they're looking at the ad, okay? And they'll be able to swipe with their finger, but these are going to scroll on their own as the ad's on there, all right? If you want to include my ownership statement, you can. So that is that little verbiage. Each office is independently owned and operated. So we'll click that. And that's displaying right there. And we'll click, oh, we'll let it load. We'll click apply. Okay, so you can see that all of my edits are happening over here. So we're going to save our ad media. And now we're going to come into configuring the actual Facebook ad. All right. So as long as you're logged in as yourself, you're going to see that, okay, this is the Facebook account holder, but this is not being posted as Alicia's personal account. You're going to have to select which page you have. So I know some of you have multiple pages. You know, you have a business page or you run another company or whatever that is. It's going to capture all of your business pages. So make sure you're selecting the right one. So I'm connected to our public page, and then I have my test business page. So I'm going to select, this is the page I want it to go on. All right, this next part is very important. Okay, so if you're listening, write this down. When you come to the destination section and it asks you which destination for people viewing your ad, where do you want that to go for the lead generation form? I want you to always select use Facebook lead generation form. Don't even bother selecting use a site or landing page. I wish they'd even give you an option. This should always be your option. The great thing about if you're using that Facebook lead generation form, Facebook is already smart, so let's use it. When they're running across your ad and they click the learn more button, as long as you've selected this use Facebook lead generation form, Facebook is going to autofill their information. So it's going to autofill their first name, last name, email address. So that way they don't have to do anything. They're not being sent somewhere. They're not having to click another place. They're not having to type or fill anything out. Facebook's going to do that part for them because it's smart. So use it. All right. So we're going to click use Facebook lead generation form. Let's see. A channel you're trying to configure must be disconnected and reconnected. Please visit your command settings. So I have personally never ran an ad, so I probably need to go in there and fix my settings. So we're not going to do that right now, but just make sure you are selecting this, okay? We want the use Facebook lead generation form. The next section is the button call to action label. So that is the button they click on to fill out their information. So the options you have are learn more, sign up, contact us, apply now. So whatever you want, make sure you select it. So I'm just going to leave it on learn more. That button is located right here. All right. And then on destination URL, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna click choose site. You guys should have all of your pages in here. If you don't, please contact me and we'll look at that, but you just need to look for the contact button. That's all we need. So contact us, we got it selected. All right, and then we come down to number 3, ad targeting. This is where I was saying that you're probably not gonna see your ad unless you're searching for the same things that the people you're targeting are searching for. So right now, this is just a basic ad targeting. So the location of this listing is in Locust Grove, and we're only doing a 20-mile radius. So that's just a basic ad targeting. But let's say, okay, I want to do custom. So we're going to select the custom setting, and now I have options. All right, so I can even choose a different location if I wanted to, but let's say, nope, I want to stay in Locust Grove. All right, 15 is the lowest you can go, and 50 is the highest you can go, okay? So 15 is your lowest, 50 is your highest on radius. And then I want to come in and I want to choose, these are the people I want to target if they're searching for these things. So Facebook was at Family Reunion and they gave us lots of tips and tricks on what we should be doing. 2 of the big ones is put in our competition. So we want to capture anybody that's going to Zillow, right? We want to capture anybody that's going to Trulia. All right, and then we're also going to put in realtor.com. Okay, so those are the big ones. Okay, but then you also have other interests. All right, and we have all of these interests. Okay, so career development. If people are searching for let's see, there's a good one. If they're searching for cottages, if they're searching on Craigslist, creative real estate investing, credit, finance. So you get the picture. So the more you select, the better your audience is going to be. And you can actually see the estimated audience size for people that are searching this. So the audience size for just credit finance is 83 million people are searching for that. So people who have expressed an interest in or like pages related to credit finance. So be creative when you're picking who you want to target, okay? And again, remember, because you're selecting a certain target, you're probably not going to see the ad unless you're searching for all of these specific things, all right? So I picked who I want to target, and I'm going to save my Facebook ad. And then I come down to duration and budget, all right? Again, you're going to see this, enjoy $25 off your first Facebook ad spent of $75 or more. I don't recommend spending that $75 because that's just not what we're recommending for our region, but I do want to get more information for you on that because I do want you to enjoy that $25 off, but we're not even telling you to spend $75 for an ad. So the sweet spot for the Oklahoma region, and this came from our regional tech director, and they had a conference with Facebook, is that our region, our sweet spot is $3 to $3.50 per day, no more than 10 days. So you're spending about $30 to $35 for this ad to run for 10 days, all right? Take that with what you will. If you can't afford $30, do what you can. If you want to spend that $75 to get the $25 off, so about a $50 investment, you can do that too. Just know that from what they've seen, from the data they've got, our sweet spot is $3 to $3.50 for 10 days. So then I can come in here, I can select my date range. So I can't start it today because the day is almost over. So it is already pulling for the next day. So let's say I want this to run from the 11th to the 18th. So that's 10 days. Whoop, that's not 10 days. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 days. So April 11th to the 21st. My total campaign budget, I want to do $3.50. So 10 days, $3.50 per day. That's a $35 total. So save duration and budget. All right, so let's say, you know what, I've created my ad. I'm not ready for it to go live yet. I need to do some other work today and I'll come back to it tomorrow. How do I save it and not lose what I just did? So I can click Save as Draft. We're gonna save it. It will take a second, so give it a moment so before it takes you back to the next page. All right, so now I'm back to my home page of my campaign section. Okay, I can see that I have one ad that I have created. It's in the draft phase and it has all the information with it, and then eventually we'll be able to see a preview. So let's say, okay, I'm ready to go back into the ad, make any edits I have and get it going. So I clicked edit campaign. It's going to pull us right back up to where we were. And now let's say, okay, I'm ready to publish my campaign. All right. So at this point, it's noticing I don't have a credit card attached to this. You are going to be able to add a credit card. It will allow you to save it in there for next time. And it's already telling you what you've selected. So there's no funny business going on. So your campaign is scheduled to run 10 days with a cost of $35. Please select your payment method, credit applied 0. So we don't have any credits in there. Changes will appear as KWRI on credit card statements. Now, what I've noticed and what I've heard is that there's a little bit of a lag when that is showing up on your in your account. And I don't know where your receipts go, so I want to check on that for you as far as tax purposes. So I need to check on the receipts for you. And also, let's say you select it to run for 10 days and you were charged the $35 and it goes under contract on the 5th day and you want to take it off. You will be credited back the days you did not spend. Okay, so you're not going to be charged the whole 35 if you shut it off halfway through. All right, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to now unmute you guys, and let's open this up for questions. All right, can you, okay, I think everyone's unmuted. If you want to unmute yourself, you can. So does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Alicia, it's Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, I have a question. So do we have any, okay, so our ad runs and somebody fills out their information.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go check that information? How do we get notified?
Great question. I'm glad you asked that. So I should have already said that. I was going to kind of put that in towards the end, but I'm glad you asked that. So if somebody chooses the get in touch or learn more button, they fill out their information, that lead is routed right back to command. So it's not going to route it through Facebook. It's not sending it to the internet. It's sending it back to command. You're notified via command. So if you can't see it, move our faces, but there's a notification bell up here at the top. You're going to get a notification there. You're going to get a notification via Kelly. So that ad is going to be routed into your contacts. Okay. Let me pull this up. So it's going to pop that contact into your actual contacts, and it's going to mark it as a lead, and it's going to mark the lead source as Facebook. So it's going to mark or Facebook ad, so that it came in via an ad campaign. All right, but you are going to see an L next to the contact name. And then also within the actual campaign, you're going to be able to see the leads that came from that. So I don't have one I can show you, but once this was activated, and let's say I was starting to capture my leads, and I've got all the data, you'll be able to see who came in from that ad.
Okay, cool.
Okay, is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Has anybody ran an ad yet? Anybody on the call that's actually ran an ad?
I have.
Who's that, Julia?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey, I am actually just following up because I kind of forgot to double check.
Yeah.
And I'm working on my third response to some, leads that came in. And I believe I'm just kind of slowly going down the list, but I've gotten at least 5 so far.
Great. That's awesome. So, was that your first campaign, Julia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You walked me through it last Friday.
Okay. I knew we had done it together, but then I didn't know if you had done one prior or if that was your very first one. So.
My first one.
Okay. So how do you feel like it performed? Was it more than what you expected, or have you ever done like an actual Facebook ad not via command?
No, I've never done a Facebook ad before, so I don't know how viable these leads are
Okay.
yet, but and most of them have asked for an email response, so I just have emailed the listing back to them from MLS
Awesome.
because it's, you know, it's more than the 5 pictures. It's got
Right.
all the pictures and all the details. So I'm starting with that, and then I'm putting in my database task list, you know, follow up tomorrow, follow up Monday, you know, just putting a series of follow-up messages
Okay. Follow-up tasks.
for myself so that I keep
Awesome.
going.
Well, that's great. Has anybody else created an ad via command?
I have, but it's been a while.
Who is that?
Katie.
Sorry, who is that?
Katie.
Oh, Katie. Okay, great, Katie. Was it centered for Bristow, or was it a listing outside of Bristow?
It was actually a listing outside of Bristow, and we did get leads from it, a few leads from it.
Okay, awesome. I am interested to see if you do run one in Bristow, because you do have a pretty big community over there, but it's farther away from the big cities. I was just curious to see what how the leads came through on something like a Bristow. So I was just curious.
Yeah, the targeting that you talked about was helpful. I've never, there were so many options. I had no idea what to do, but that helps, the ones that you gave.
Yeah, so really, I mean, because truly everybody, as much as we hate Zillow, people are on Zillow. So
Yeah.
if we're putting in our competition, those are the people we're going to capture. And it's more broad. So like if you're trying to search for somebody that wants a cottage,
Mhm.
probably not going to get the best lead capture. But if you're searching from somebody that's on Zillow, you're going to get quite a bit of lead capture. So something to think about. Anybody else that's created an ad that they want to kind of talk about their experience? I'm trying to see who's on the call. I love seeing your pretty faces. All right, is there anybody that wants to do a one-on-one with me that would like to create a campaign?
Me
Anybody?
Me.
Julie, okay.
and Lori.
Juliet and Lori, okay. All right. So after this call, I want you guys that want to do one-on-ones with me to do these ads, just shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'll give you, oh, yes, Juliet. You have a question?
All right. Yeah, I didn't know if I was muted or not. I was checking.
Yeah.
I was just going to warn everybody. I was the dingling that clicked on the link yesterday and so be careful with your cards, because I had somebody send me a text that looked like they were a lead, like it was a lead, and the spelling was great, the grammar was great, and I'm cleaning up a big mess because they actually accessed my credit card and charged my account. And
geez. Yeah. So just be
Oh
vigilant.
no.
they locked me out of my PayPal. I mean, and I had it through PayPal thinking that was safer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. They actually changed
They
changed my password in PayPal. They made a huge mess. So
My God.
yeah. So
be
just a reminder to
cautious.
be vigilant, be cautious, be paying attention.
I'm thinking about getting a different credit
Okay.
like putting like a debit card or a gift card kind of thing that has a limited, so they can't actually get too much.
Yeah, that's smart.
Anyway.
That's smart. All right, guys. Well, are there any other questions?
Can you go into more detail on that, Julia? Was that a text that you got on Facebook where they said click this link, or?
They actually sent me a text directly and said, "Hey, this is Tim. Do you still have that property? I saw the property at blah, blah, blah." It was a link for Facebook. And this is how not tech savvy I am. I was suspicious, but I thought the link would be the problem, not the site address. So like a ding dong, I went to my computer and typed in the address to just check.
Right. Well, because you're curious, right?
Because I was like, I don't want to not respond to a lead.
Right.
So yeah, and then I said, it wasn't open. Can you, I responded to him, and I should have just responded with, "Can you please give me the address?" before I ever clicked, and made sure that there was dialogue back and forth. But it was just a random text.
Gotcha. So we got to be vigilant. Katie,
And
what
so
was your
you clicked on it and they got all of your passwords?
they got into my credit card, because I've done Facebook just directly through Facebook. I've done ads before.
Right?
My account was connected, my credit card, my PayPal account was connected to my Facebook, and they got in there and they created a $1,500 ad for a Toyota Tacoma in California. And the most irritating thing is that I've had like 75 freaking calls and texts at 3 a.m. asking about the stupid Toyota Tacoma.
Oh my gosh.
And they changed my password, and they made it so that they set it up so that I can't even go in, and I couldn't even get in there and delete it.
Oh
Because
my
only the
goodness.
user who created it could delete it, and I have no idea what they did, but
Oh,
it's
that's crazy.
That's a mess.
Man. All right, Katie, what was your question?
Okay,
I was just wondering about the $35 for 10 days.
Mhm.
Is that is that like for all of Oklahoma? Like, would that work for our area, Priscilla's area?
Yeah, so the Oklahoma region, it was just an Oklahoma region kind of ballpark number of what they're seeing. For people that have run ads, this was what we were receiving the most benefit from. We're the most bang for your buck. So
Okay.
now for Bristow, you may run it, and it'll just depend. It'll just depend, Katie.
Okay. All right.
But for
I'll
the
probably experiment.
for general, for Oklahoma region, that was the sweet spot. So for you, you may do $3 a day. Don't do the $3.50 per day. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
who else had a question? Thought I heard somebody. No? Okay. For those of you that want a one-on-one with me to do a campaign together, shoot me an email or shoot me a text so that way I can get you on my calendar and we'll get that set up. So we're just going to end the call. Thank you for being here and plugging in, and I loved seeing your faces today.
Thank you.
I look forward to talking to you guys, okay?
Thank you.
All right,
a lot.
see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.